this video, I'm going to share 5 reasons why Etsy print on demand is bad for most artists. But first, my name's Crystal. I've been selling on Etsy for over 10 years. I make animal paintings. You can see one of them back there, but primarily on Etsy, I sell art prints and I also sell t-shirts. Now, the art prints I make myself, but the t-shirts I have made using print on demand. So I want to share with you some of my experiences selling print on demand and just what I've learned over the years. So that way you won't waste time and you'll be able to build your art business faster and more reliably than I did. You won't have to go through all of that trial and error. So first downside is the pricing structure, right? If you're using print on demand, you are having a company make the product for you. So they are taking your artwork and putting it on t-shirts or art prints. I make mine myself, but a lot of people use print on demand for art prints like canvas prints, coffee mugs. Really, the sky's the limit. Anything that you can think of, you can probably find a print on demand company to make it for you. But all of these products cost a certain amount of money to make. So you have that cost, but then on top of that, you have your Etsy fees and your shipping. And then on top of that, you have Etsy ad fees. Because if you're trying to get visibility on the Etsy platform, you are likely going to need to use Etsy ads, at least at first, especially if your shop is just getting up and going. And it doesn't even mean the ads are actually going to work for you. You might just pay money out and not really get any sales. So you might lose money on the ads. But let's say it's an ideal world and you're not losing money on the ads. You're still going to have to pay for the cost of the product to get made and the Etsy fees and the shipping. And all of these factors when it comes to the cost makes you not make very much profit unless you're willing to charge a huge amount of money for your print on demand products. But if you're doing that, then it's not going to be competitively priced on Etsy, and so you're probably not going to get very many sales. And here's the second problem. If you're not making sales on your products or you're not paying for ads or both, you're probably not going to get much exposure in the Etsy algorithm, because how Etsy works is they want to make customers really happy and they want to make sales because that's how they make money. And so if customers aren't purchasing your listings at a similar rate as other artists or other people who are selling similar items on Etsy when they show up next to yours in search, if yours isn't selling at a similar rate, it's going to start drifting lower and lower and lower in search. And eventually, if Etsy deems your listing as low quality because it's not getting enough purchases or enough clicks, they might not even show it when you pay for ads. And so this basically leaves your shop dead in the water. So even if you take all of the time and effort to upload your artwork to something like Printful and then get it all programmed so that it's made onto a t-shirt, and even if you get samples of that shirt to make sure that it turned out good, if Etsy doesn't show your listings to customers, then you can't make sales. And if your prices are on the upper end of what people are charging on Etsy, which they probably need to be for you to make a decent profit using print on demand, then you're going to be less likely to sell them. Because you gotta put yourself in the customer's shoes, right? They're browsing Etsy, they're seeing like a whole bunch of cat t-shirts. That's what I made here was my cat t-shirt. They see a whole bunch of cat t-shirts on there. Some of them are around $30, but some are only $20. And they like the designs on the $20 ones just as well as the $30 ones. And they can't really tell the difference in quality because we're all using the same mock-ups that we get from Printful or whatever print on demand company that we're using. So it looks like it's the same shirt. It's just a different design. So unless something really stands out to them about that design, they're likely to buy the cheaper one. And this is really why Etsy print on demand is stacked against us, because if you're not selling enough, you're not going to get visibility in search, and ultimately you're not going to make any money. You're going to just waste your effort uploading your artwork onto all this stuff and uploading it to Etsy and configuring everything, which can take hours if you're uploading dozens of products, and you're probably not going to get much visibility or sell anything at all. If that isn't enough downsides already about Etsy print on demand, I've got some more for you. The next is unexpected shipping delays, because you don't really have any control over when the print on demand company ships out your product. I haven't experienced this with Printful, but I have tried some other print on demand companies that I had really slow shipping times. One of them was Guten. I was getting some canvas prints made by them, and it was extraordinarily slow. And so you have to take this into consideration, because if your Etsy shop has bad reviews or shipping that arrives very, very late, that's going to look bad against your shop, and it's going to stack against you over time. 1 or 2 orders isn't probably going to ruin your visibility in search too much, but if you have like a dozen late shipping orders or bad reviews from customers who said that you didn't ship on time, that is going to look really bad to Etsy, and they're probably going to penalize your shop for it in the sense that they won't show your listings as much in search. And I know I just touched on this previously, but the next downside is a lack of control, because you don't have any control over anything that the print-on-demand company is doing. So let's say that you have your artwork uploaded to their website, and then you even got a sample in so you could see what the shirts or whatever it is that you're making look like prior to selling them to your customers, but you have no guarantee that every single one they ship out is going to be to the same standard that that one that you got as a sample was. Now, if you're making them yourself, you know exactly what you're sending out to your customers. I know for me, I feel way more comfortable making the primary amount of my products myself, and that's why I make my art prints myself instead of having a print-on-demand company make them for me. It's because I have full control over it, and my colors are very important to me. I want them to be bright and bold, and my customers want them to be bright and bold. That's why they purchase my work. And so I don't want it to ruin my brand to have my art prints made by a print-on-demand company. It's just, yeah, it's not worth it to me. Now, the t-shirts, I sell a lot fewer of them, and so I'm not as worried about that hurting my brand reputation, but the art prints are the cornerstone of my business. I make about 80% of my income selling art prints online and in person. So I don't want to mess that up. And because of the lack of control, I just don't feel comfortable using print on demand for it. The last one is customer perception of print on demand. I don't know about you, but whenever I've been just shopping on Etsy, I scroll through the website and there are so many AI art, print on demand type products on there. It's just flooded with them. And it just completely makes me not interested in purchasing any of the things that I'm seeing on there. And I've heard from other shoppers and other artists as well that they're experiencing a similar thing. The mass-produced nature of print on demand with the stock photos and how they all look the same. There's not character, there's not something unique about them. Maybe your artwork is unique, but they're all on the same products and they're all set up and photographed the same way with the mock-ups. For a lot of customers, this makes them not want to purchase. They would rather support an artist they know who is making the work themselves. I know for me, when I tell people that I make the prints myself, whether I'm in person or online, they respond to that really well. They love the idea that the artist has their hands in the production of the product or artwork that they're purchasing. Plus, when I make the art prints myself, I save a huge amount of money. I mean, I got my print cost down to about $1.35 per print. That's amazing, and they're Giclée archival prints. So if you want to learn how to make art prints, check out this playlist. It tells you everything you need to know about how to make art prints at home on your own, so you don't need to use a print-on-demand company and you can have beautiful quality work. All right, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.